Hey crafters, how has everybody been? I'm back. I'm back with a new drill with me and a new princess. So let's go ahead and just dive in and get started. Okay guys, for our first drill with me for Jasmine, we're gonna go ahead and do her magic lamp. I've been really excited to do this, really excited to talk with you guys, fill you in on everything that's been going on, and I'm just gonna jump in and get started. I do like to work from the inside out, and I want to try and get this bottom section done first because I feel like it's just going to be my hand the whole time for this bottom section. So I just want to get this out of the way. We're going to start with this red circle color, and let me find it. And then I'll just fill you in. Another busy week around here. I'm also doing the camera at a different angle, so like, oh, I hope it comes out right. I wanted to do it at this angle because, to you, it looks like the regular way it's always been, hopefully. To me, I am on the side, and I just opened up drills and didn't get them all in the tray, and they spilled everywhere. Isn't it great being back? My goodness. So this color down here, this circular color that I'm going to go ahead and start with, that is DMC 970, and it's a really pretty orange. Got good light, so what you see on the camera is what I'm seeing right now. So I went ahead and I spent a few days getting most of the black outline for Jasmine complete. I have about 70%, and I just hit a wall where I just didn't want to work with 310s anymore. I needed a break, and it was like, it's been a while, I should go ahead and do my drill with me now. And I've got a lot to talk about. You know how I can get quite scattered and overwhelmed by just talking and talking and talking. So I'm gonna try and stick to my usual routine: announcements, questions, and random topics. So announcements. This canvas is back on Amazon, and the sale price is still active of $44. I had somebody point that out to me, send me an email that, oh, they lowered it, it's on sale right now. So if you're interested, it is $44 currently. Questions that I received. I did have somebody ask about the book I mentioned in my last drill with me. Oh, I think, well, conversation break, because I think that was actually all of the circles, because this up here I thought was circles, but those are actually diamonds. So my mother-in-law did write a book. It is out right now, and I'll put the link down below, but the really cool thing is if you have either Amazon Kindle Unlimited, or you're able to kind of borrow a book from Amazon Prime. If you have Prime and you have all of that, then you can read it for free. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it down below, and you can check out if you're interested. It's a Christian romance. It's like her 21st, 22nd book. She's got quite a few. The next one, I'm gonna do this diamond, which is 921, and I'm just gonna do this top part right here. There's a lot of diamonds in this surrounding area, but that is actually for the house in the background, and I really just want to stick to the magic lamp. So I'm just going to put a few on here. And this is kind of a rusted color, a rusted orange. And it's coming across really well. But that's all I got for announcements and questions. So, random topics. I think in my last video I talked about how we finished Ariel. I was going to take a few days to... getting back, it's not starting too well. I was gonna spend a few days working on the black outline, and I think that was either on a Monday or a Tuesday, and I was gonna post the next drill with me on a Friday. That didn't happen. Oh, that was a Monday, because that Tuesday actually fell outside of my house. We're kind of in this season where it sprinkles a little bit early morning, just a tiny bit of rain, enough that, you know, it kind of coats the roads and coats your car a little bit, but it doesn't really leave puddles anywhere. I think I'm pretty much done with all of that, so let's do these X's. So anyways, I was walking out to the car in the morning, going quickly, not paying attention in flip-flops. That was my biggest problem. This, oh, I had more of that diamond, and I am not looking ahead. I did have more of that diamond there. I'll come back to that color, but this X is gonna be, oops, $9.19. So I was in flip-flops. The walkway out front is all marble. And this is actually very common in Tunisia. Some people do, some streets have an all marble sidewalk. It's to help just keep everything cooler in the hot months. You know, your staircase in your house is marble or concrete. Restaurants, businesses have a lot of marble. Just doing anything they can to keep it as cool as possible. So I'm quickly walking to the car. The ground is wet. I'm wearing flip-flops, old flip-flops, so there's no traction. I fall and my back lands squarely on the edge of the stair. And my husband was right there with me and he's like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Like, actually I haven't talked about this with him, so I don't know if he thought I broke my back or I like really severely hurt myself. But I was just kind of like, no, give me a minute. I need a minute. I just need a minute to figure out like how bad this really is. And it was okay. I got right up maybe 10, 15 seconds later. And I was like, that's gonna hurt a lot later today or tomorrow morning. But right now I feel okay. And just as I thought, later in the day, it started hurting pretty bad. And then the next day, my whole body just felt really sore. So I didn't even start on the outline until maybe that Friday when I had planned on having some of the outline done and getting started on my first drill with me, because I would try and sit here and work on my diamond painting and just bending my back over, like that slight angle that we do when we're working on these. It was really uncomfortable. So I went 3 days, maybe 3 days, where I just couldn't diamond paint. That did lead me to sitting around and being lazy and looking on Amazon at some of those really good like craft elevated boards. And if I had found one big enough for this princess painting, I would have instantly bought it. But I kept seeing smaller ones. Maybe I'll get a smaller one and do clips. I've seen some people working with clips. A few more X's up there and we're done. So that was the first few days. And to just bore you even more, when I'm there, just kind of sitting on the couch, my back's hurting and I'm trying to relax, it just seems like those are the worst days, not because of what you can't do, but just how you can't help with anything like, I guess you can't go out and do activities or really do very much, but also I was sitting around and I couldn't even help in my house. I mean, we had some bad, unfortunate days where the day after I hurt my back, so our house alarm, no, not our house alarm. Let me regather myself. The day after I hurt my back, it was really windy. I don't know if there was a cat playing in the tree or what, but our internet completely went out. And we went 2 days without internet. I'm gonna go ahead and do this J color right here. Now I had it on my phone because of my SIM card, but we didn't have anything in the house. So the kids were a little antsy and not that big of a deal. We just did a lot of coloring and played a lot of games. What was the problem is I'm kind of either on the couch or limping around and I get this like frantic buzzing on my door. And here in Tunisia, you have like a garden door and there's like a buzzer and it goes like buzz, 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 you know, kind of deal. You might even hear it in this video because I might have somebody come over right now. We'll see. And I'm just like, oh gosh, what's going on? So because our internet was out and it was out for a long period of time and like not coming back, I didn't realize this. So our house alarm is somehow connected to our internet. They're either on the same wire or I don't know. I don't know how they're bundled together. I'm really not the best at technology. So the security company associated with the house alarm thinks that we have set off the alarm and there's an emergency in our house. So they're all coming there. I'm limping around. The kids are just, they haven't had TV, and it's the worst time too. All this happened during spring break. So they're like, what's going on? The dog is frantically barking because, you know, he's the buzzer, and I'm already like hobbling in pain. And now we have these people, these guys at the door of like, are you okay? Is everything okay? And I'm like, I'm totally fine. What's going on? So apparently it was like, looking back, it'll be a story that I just laugh my butt off of. Remember that week when I fell down and I could barely do anything and the kids were so bored. It was spring break, couldn't take them out. We didn't have internet. And then the security company thought like there was an emergency at the house. I'm gonna laugh about it one day. Maybe today, maybe not today. But it was, it's definitely a story. So that happened. Huh. Anyways, it's been a week. I just actually started working on Jay, and I didn't show you any of the stuff. So Jay is 741, and it's a lighter orange. Not quite, but pumpkin, definitely light orange. It's hard to tell how light it is because that sparkle is so nice, but it is a lighter orange than the other one that we looked at. So that was, I don't know, it just, you know, one of those days or weeks where you're like, my goodness, what else is gonna happen? And we came through, we pulled out of it, and I'm happy to say I'm back with my drill with me today. I did get a lot of the black outline done, but I was just like, oh, I need to film something. I need to just talk and talk and talk. Oh, I got 2 on that one. Hey, how cool. I'm actually right now trying out the Diamond Dot Pink Wax. It came in that little kit that I told you I bought for my kids in Ireland, the little shamrock, and their pink wax is translucent, and I think the translucent pink wax is actually the best. It's in my single placer. It's not in my 3 spacer. I need to put it in my 3 spacer right now because that's running out of wax. So we'll see how well it works. And where did I just put it? I just had it. There we go. But also about last week, I guess it was kind of good that I couldn't really do very much because I had my last day of work. It happened. It came and went. I think since I'm not working anymore, I can talk to you. I would talk to you a little bit more about what I was doing. So I wrote a weekly newsletter magazine thing. It's a newsletter, but I really tried to make it like this magazine style layout for our community, where I wrote articles and information about events and put pictures. And I have been doing that for almost a year here in Tunisia. And I did my last issue, passed it on. There's going to be another newsletter editor. But it's, you know, all these things are happening, and it just makes me realize we're leaving soon, or, you know, we're going to be at a new post, and I'm going to be thinking like, oh, remember that time in Tunisia when things got so crazy with the house alarm, and remember my working on my issue. So that is done. I am no longer employed. And I wish I could say I've been more productive with my free time, but it just seems like it's all packing. My free time is either playing with the kids or doing something with the move and packing. And I have my plane ticket booked, by the way. I will be leaving Tunisia on April 15th. I will be on that super early 2 a.m. in the morning flight with the 3 kids, me and the 3 kids. But it's here. It's time. It's gone so quickly, and you know, no matter how prepared I am or not prepared, it's gonna happen. The tickets are booked, like nothing's changing it. And we found out a couple days ago, this week, that we will have movers, but they're actually gonna, with their schedule and our schedule, it just didn't work out. So they're gonna be packing up after I leave. So my husband will be here and doing all the pack up stuff, and it'll be just him and actually the dog. I've been debating back and forth wanting to take Axel with me, but doing this trip on my own with the 3 kids, I think is gonna be really difficult. And even just the logistics of going through the airport with our stroller and the carrier, he'll be in a car seat, the baby. He'll be on a car seat in the plane. So we'll have a little car seat carrier stroller thing, and I'll put him in it so I can just kind of turn that into a makeshift stroller in the airport. So that's one hand as I like push him, if I do it with one hand, and then I'll have the 2 older kids and they'll have backpacks, but the way it tends to work is they get about halfway through the airport, and that's a lot of walking for a kid. If you think of the airports and how massive they can be. So eventually I start holding their backpacks, and I've got my like backpack diaper bag, and I just couldn't think like logistics. How would I carry the dog's bag? Because he's small. He just flies in a bag under the seat. And I realized I just don't think I could do it. I know I would try. Oh, more J's right there. I know I would try, and I know I would push myself, but I just don't know how I could physically carry all of that at once. So he's gonna stay here for 2 weeks until my husband comes behind and comes back to the United States, and they'll fly together. That might be, I don't know, it might just be easier for him. He's also an older dog. He doesn't need to be shuttled around with 3 kids. He needs a little bit more care and attention when he's flying. And another thing to add to all of this, I am going to have a 7-hour layover with 3 kids. And I'll take a break from talking so you can actually laugh at that and how silly it is and just like go, oh my goodness. Because I said the same thing. I'm gonna do letter K right now. K is DMC 742. Let me make sure I write these down. I did 742, 741. And so I actually kind of picked that. I okayed the layover. I got a call from my husband, and he said, look, we can book your ticket. Since it's official travel, I don't book it, but we discuss, and it's booked for me. 7:41 on the tray. Oh, my lighting just got really dark. A cloud is like over this window. This is 7:41 on the tray. It's still looking pretty good, but I'm gonna try and cut my overhead light on to hopefully balance out how dark it just got. Turn the light on. We'll see if it helps. It's one of those lights that when you turn it on, it's really dim and it takes maybe what feels like an hour, but really just takes a few minutes to get brighter and brighter and brighter. So we'll see how that goes. But I actually okayed the itinerary because I mean, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna complain that it needs to be on another flight when there's not another flight? There's not another option. I could have left later in the day from Tunisia, but then I wouldn't really have that like mini luxury of the kids at least sleeping on the first flight. And if we left later in the day, they would have been awake for the whole thing. They don't sleep that well on planes. I mean, they'll sleep for maybe like 2 hours and then wake up and kind of go back to sleep for a little bit, but they are not able to fall asleep and be out for 6 hours. They just can't get comfortable, and I can't get comfortable on planes either. So it was like, if we do it this way, at least they'll sleep for part of it and they'll be in better spirits. The Frankfurt airport, I can definitely kill 7 hours in the Frankfurt airport. They have a McDonald's and Starbucks. I mean, they have things that I've been missing. And I did enjoy these items when I traveled through to Ireland. But, you know, it's just exciting because they're nice treats. Like when my kids eat at McDonald's, they're so excited because obviously we don't have one here in Tunisia. So they treat it as a big deal. They get a Happy Meal and there's a toy. If there's a play area at the McDonald's, they're going crazy with excitement. So, I mean, we're showing up like this is a big deal, and we're ordering tons of food because we're just really happy to be able to kind of do this like treat dinner that we have. And that's kind of funny. I mean, I grew up eating at McDonald's and having a Happy Meal, and it wasn't all the time at all, but McDonald's was kind of a normal part of life. You see McDonald's and you see commercials about the Happy Meals, and it was just normal. But for them, McDonald's is like a really fancy, like nice treat. So for the layover, we're gonna go to McDonald's. I've told you before, I really like the Frankfurt Airport because they have playgrounds, and I'll put the kids on playgrounds. It's now at the point though where the baby, he wants to play on the playground as well, and it's a lot of fun for him, but it is exhausting for me because remember, Mama's the one carrying the bags and pulling this little stroller around and handling the kids on the plane. So even when I had my help with my husband on the last trip to Ireland, I was really tired with the kids at the playground in the airport. So, whew, we'll see how it goes this time. I'm gonna have to start with the coffee, like get off the plane and be like, okay, we need to find a place that Mom can get a coffee before we can do anything else to help energize me. But yeah, so I've got that planned. I've got my ticket out of here. And so the weirdest reaction happened. I knew my ticket was getting planned. I knew this was the itinerary that we had agreed on and we were gonna go for. And my husband sends me the email that my ticket had been planned. My ticket had been booked, and I got it when I'm in the car. And I had yet to pull out of our driveway, so I wasn't like driving, but I saw it, I looked at it, I closed my email on my phone, and then started driving. And I'm driving out of our neighborhood and down our street, just looking, and I'm like, this place is so beautiful, and I just bust out crying while I'm driving. This everyday activity, I just couldn't control myself because I'm like, this is it. It's been 3 years. We have spent 3 years of our lives in Tunisia, and in 2.5 weeks, we're gonna move on. And the house that my kids have grown up in, they're not gonna step foot in again. And the school where my kids go and the community that we have here, like we are separating. And we're going on to another post and we're gonna do really great things there. But just the goodbye process and knowing that it is so close now, it is so final, I just busted out crying. Unexpected. I don't even know where it came from. And it was also one of these things where like 10, 15 seconds later, I'm like, okay, you're driving, focus, everything's gonna be okay. And I'm like, okay, I'm fine. I recovered quickly, but man, that sense of goodbye, it's so hard. I don't like goodbyes. I guess that's it. I really don't. And not to a place that I like so much, because I've been telling people, and I don't know if I said this on Another Drill With Me. I probably have. I apologize. Like for me, I was born and raised in the United States, and I spent some time overseas and traveled a lot, but I always came back home. The United States was my home. And for my kids, they've spent the majority of their life now living overseas, living in Tunisia. So for them, they're leaving their first home that they know and remember. And they're doing pretty good. We talk to them every day about the fact that we're leaving. And it's really important that we say our goodbyes and we tell people how much we appreciate and love them and our friends and our teachers, and they understand all of that and they're really excited to move on and to go to Germany. So we're hoping that by talking about it a lot, we're making the transition easier for them. And time's gonna tell. The great thing is that nowadays we can just Skype their friends. I mean, everyone is a short phone call away, and I'm hoping that also will help ease the distance. And we picked out their school in Germany, so we're also like trying to show them pictures of their school, and this is where you're gonna go, and wow, look at all the kids that are here. You're gonna make new friends, and they're excited. I think there was just like, wait, does this place have a playground? And it's like, yeah, they have a playground. And they're like, okay, we're good. We want to go now. And I'm like, well, we have to wait a little bit because we're going to go to the United States. And they're like, okay, well, just for a little bit, right? Because we can go to the playground at the school. And I'm like, well, there's so many other better things here. But if they are that tied and in love with the idea of the playground, then I'm glad. They've like zoomed in on something, and that's what we're just gonna keep going with. Okay, I'm definitely rambling now, but I wanna go ahead and do L, and then I'll come back and do this diamond shape. L is 743, and it looks really pretty on the tray. I actually have quite a bit of L, and I definitely did not pour enough into my tray, so I will have to add some more again. Yeah, I didn't put enough in. Looks really good on the tray. What you're seeing on camera is what I see in person. Yeah. Whew. And I'm trying to go through the house, and I'm trying to get rid of and donate things that we don't use, that we've no longer just have a need for, like the baby's clothes that we're not going to take with us. He's not in 6-month clothing anymore. So all of that is taking up a lot of my time. And then trying to say goodbye to friends. It's the move. That's all it. Oh, but we are going to go back to the States. And since I'm going a little bit earlier than my husband, I'm going to spend 11 weeks in the United States. And we have planned it up pretty quickly of we want to do this. Our time there is going to go really fast. So I told you guys before that we have talked about Disney, and we're doing it. It's booked. Everything's good to go. We've told all the family we are taking our kids to Disney, and they're very excited, but I don't think they understand what all Disneyland is, because we keep telling them, trying to describe to them the place. Now, I know I could load a YouTube video and show them. I've loaded some YouTube videos myself to look at, but I thought if I did that, it would get them so excited that they would want to go right now, and they don't have the best understanding of time yet. And that could just be, not a good idea, because then, they'll be like crying of like, we want to go now. But they think Disneyland is like just Cinderella's castle, in that the princesses live there and Mickey Mouse lives there, and we're gonna go get to see Toy Story, and that's it. They don't get that there's like rides and entertainment. I think the way they talk about it, that they believe they're just going over to somebody like Cinderella's house for a little bit, and then they're gonna get to say hi and see everybody. So that's also another reason to hold back on doing a whole lot of videos, because I want to actually experience and see the magic when they get there and they're like, wow, this is a lot more than we thought. So I'm now going to start watching even more stuff on YouTube and trying to find how to plan the best Disney day. And I know I was recommended when I first talked about like, we want to do Disney. You guys told me, well, Gone Off My Meds is really close to there. She's talked about Disney before. Check out her videos. And I'm going to be watching them I have watched them, but finding like the ones with Disney information with like a notepad in my hand, just writing down everything I can. And it looks like what we're gonna do is when I get back to the States, I'm gonna get back April 15th. Because with the time difference and change, like I leave here April 15th, 2 a.m., but I arrive into DC like, actually, I don't know what time that flight arrives, maybe like 5 or 6 p.m. Perfect time if you've ever been in Washington, D.C. to land at an airport because traffic there is absolutely ridiculous in the evenings. So I'm not actually going to get to where we're staying probably until like 8:30, 9 o'clock. But it's going to be such a long day, such a long day. Okay, this is me rambling. This is what happens. I haven't filmed a video in more than a week and a half. I'm rambling all over the place. I'm just talking. I'm using my hands. I'm not even drilling. This is why I just need to drill more often. So I am more organized and focused. Here we go. I'm really, really happy with how this is going. The reason why I wanted to do these drills, these diamond drills next, because I wanted to get another yellowish color because I really like the yellows in this canvas. Jasmine is going to have some really beautiful, beautiful yellows in the sun and the moon and stars and the flowers that she has and the genie lamp. I like how I got such a large canvas, this transition in color. Then you can see the dark and how it fades so well into the light colors. Very, very happy with that. And then, of course, the absolute best thing about going back to the United States is I get to go and hang out with my friend Rainbow Crafter. And she's also got a diamond painting YouTube page. And I have not seen her in months. She is my absolute best friend since years, decade, yeah, over a decade. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see one of my other friends, if we can make it work. She lives out of town, but she might be in Northern Virginia. We might be able to make it work. I'm just excited of thinking about all the cool stuff we're gonna do. And then after Disney, that's when the real fun will begin, because we're gonna get the 3 kids, the dog, and me and my husband, and we're gonna drive across the United States. And I wanna see all the fun stuff. Like, actually, I've never done this, so I've heard things of like the world's largest ball of twine. If that exists, I wanna figure out how far we're gonna be from it. You know, you see these crazy things of, oh, when you're driving across country, they've got these really nice like little tourist places to stop and just see something kind of ridiculous. I want to do all of that. I said I was going to do the diamonds. I changed my mind. I want to do N. N is 744. Also, I mentioned this in my last video, but Ravelry's road trip feature. And Ravelry is the online social media for knitters. They have a feature where you put your driving itinerary and then how many miles you're willing to drive off of, you know, your planned course. And they map out all the local yarn stores for you. And I want to do that and stop in some yarn stores. But I really need to control myself because there's a lot of yarn stores in Germany, so it's not like I need to stock up. When we first came to Tunisia, it was the summer of 2016, and I think, you know, I just kind of was asking around and trying to Google and see if I could find yarn stores, and I was unable to. Since I've been here, I've found 3 places that I can get yarn from. None of them are that convenient. One is more a little bit of a shorter drive and a little easier to deal with, but it's not as easy and convenient as some other places. So I went to a Michael's, and with my husband, and I just like tried to stock up on yarn and make sure I had different stuff for the projects I want to do. And I really don't need to do that when going to Germany. There's quite a few yarn and fabric and crafting stores. They look straight from this angle, and then I glance a second time and it's like, what was I thinking? Those are not straight. There we go. Yes. Let's see. It's almost the weekend here. And this weekend we might be out and about, or I'm not sure. I don't know if it's been on the news in the United States, but the Arab League, that is the group of countries, and I think there's like 22 or 23 countries that are members. I do not know off the top of my head, but they're having the Arab League Summit here in Tunis. So it's a pretty exciting time because people from all over the Arab world have been coming to Tunis for like the last week, week and a half. The roads are busy, the traffic is busy, the cafes and restaurants are filled, but it's an exciting time because it's good for Tunis, and it's just, it's beautiful here. What Tunisia does is whenever they have a guest or these big summits, so here, let me go back. I'm trying to think of like 3 different things I want to tell you. So with the Arab League being this weekend, actually, the light poles around town have different flags flying from the countries that are here participating. So it's just beautiful and festive. You see Tunisian flags, red Tunisian flags everywhere. You see flags of the other Arab countries. And it just seems like so much excitement is in the air. That looks nice. Oh, and 2 ends up here. So it's just a really exciting, fun time for Tunisia. So this weekend, we're gonna try and be out and about and see some stuff around town and deal with the traffic. Like even today at the grocery store. I try to get there really early in the morning, and it was very busy. Very busy. And just kind of looking around, you can see people in traditional dress from other countries. So you know that they're here for the Arab League, and they're either working for somebody or they're one of the participants, and in which case I should have been like, hey, can I get a picture? But it's just nice. It's springtime here. There's these beautiful flowers in bloom everywhere. Okay. See, again, I'm running my mouth. I'm gonna do the diamond here, and then I'm gonna turn the camera and come over to the handle a little bit. It'll be the same colors that we've already done, but I wanted to make sure I get a good camera angle. Oh, I'm gonna do, actually this diamond does not wanna come out of the tray. So the diamond is gonna be DMC 921. I don't think there's too many of them, so I don't put that many on my tray. And this is a really like copper, talked about the other one being like a burnt orange. This is more of a copper with orange tones. One day I'll get the actual like DMC book where it says what each color would actually be called. Because I'm like orange, light orange, lighter orange, and I don't do the best job at describing it. But it's really important to me to make sure that the lighting is good. That way you can see pretty well what the color is, since I don't do the best at that, describing it. I tried to get 3 on it that time and only got 1. Oh, look at me. What is going on? Come on. I take a week off and I am just dropping my pen, putting drills everywhere, blabbering all over the place. There we go. I am getting in the mood to knit. And I don't know why. I usually start to knot Want to knit around springtime? I feel like it's really gearing up for some reason. Oh, good. And don't even ask me how I'm doing on like my wish list, my knitting to-do wish list. I made that in January and I have completed a few things on it, but I have not made nearly as much progress as I need to. So you might see a bunch of knitting videos in October, November, December of me frantically knitting. That way I can make some progress on all the different works in progress that I have just sitting around my house. It would take up a lot less space if I could get that stuff done though. Well, since I have been talking to you about moving, and I know I've said this in other videos, my plan right now is to finish Jasmine, and I have 2 weeks to finish her. I don't have a job right now, but I am packing a lot. I do feel confident in that timeline, 2 weeks, that I will be able to get her fully done, especially now since most of the outline is done, and filling in like over here, these background pieces, that is extremely quick when I get the outline done. At most, like the pink on the side would take 30 minutes. So we're done with the lamp. This is how good it looks. But I am going to turn over, zoom in a little bit more on the handle, and keep going. I'm gonna take everybody's advice and I'm gonna make sure that I roll the canvas inside out, right side out, the best way to put that. I have bought one of those plastic storage containers and I'm going to roll the canvas in it, put all the drills, everything in there, and then seal it up with tape all over. I'm gonna make sure my husband knows that the packers, because sometimes when the movers come in, they want to unpack what you have already packed because they want to make sure if there is a breakable item that it gets properly packed and it doesn't break. So everything just has to be double checked. And it's just, I'm going to have a sign. And I told my husband, he needs his help. I need his help. I'm going to write it in Arabic, English, and French. And it's just going to say like, do not open. Do not open. No, do not open, not fragile. Put something like that because I'm going to go back to J741. I don't want anybody to possibly open it up and mess with it, but everything's going to be in there. And when I get to Germany and I open all my craft stuff, then I will continue with the last 3 princesses. And eventually we're going to finish this canvas and it's going to go in my girls' bedroom. They're really excited for it. They're asking me every day how much work I've done, how much progress, when can they put it in their bedroom. And it's like, slow down. Mama does not work that fast. But it's just too big for me to take to the United States with me. I had a question that somebody said and I totally forgot. Okay. So I had somebody who was watching one of like my earlier unboxing videos, actually before I got this canvas, and I unboxed two canvases. One is a 4 seasons canvas with 4 trees in bloom in the fall with different colored leaves, that canvas, I'm sure you've seen it. And the other is the night sky canvas, which was always advertised on my Instagram when I started to be interested in different diamond paintings. And I've decided I'm going to take probably the night sky canvas with me and work on that for Drill With Me's throughout the United States. Chat break. Gonna go back to 742. That is a little bit of a smaller diamond painting. I don't have the exact size on the top of my head. I'm gonna put a reminder here. I'm writing a note. I will link it down in the comments so you can see what I'm talking about. You've probably seen this canvas before. Again, it's one that I saw repeatedly in the ads when I started to look at diamond painting sites, and it's a lot of blues and purples. But I'm gonna put it down below, and maybe we can work something out, or we all work on the canvas together and we do our crafting together on the same item. I think that would be fun. But you guys know how slow I go You'd go so much faster than me. And then you'd just be like, come on, Meredith. Come on, Meredith. You're going a little slow. You gotta hurry up and finish this. I finished it. I'm like, sorry, guys. That's my problem. I just kind of start talking while I craft. And when I'm not recording a video, I go really fast. But once I start recording, it's, you know, crafting for me is so social, and I'm so glad that we're all here. We're kind of working on things together. We're being productive together. I don't have a craft group here in Tunisia. So I view this and watching other videos, and I call you guys my friends, so get ready for that because we're friends. I view this as my social time. Wow, I finished K pretty quickly. I'm gonna go back to N and L and then the color up here. And we're gonna be done. We've already done N today too. Let me close this. N was 744. Only had a little bit of it on the other part, but there's a lot more of it on the handle. And again, it's really not a lot, but gotta keep my eye on the clock to make sure I don't drill too long and go past school pickup. I'll probably finish this lamp obviously when this drill with me is over in the next few minutes and keep going a little bit tonight. I will try and work on some of that background pink that I showed you a few minutes ago. And I don't know if I'm gonna do any of the black drills. You know how it is, guys. I just want a break of looking at the same color and feel like I've made a little bit more progress just besides the outline. But I did get a lot done. It's about 65–70%, so. I'll do some of the pink, and then I'm not sure what our next drill with me is going to be for this canvas. I think as I work a little bit more, I will figure out what would look nice. I do like these, you can only see a part of it, these flowers over here. I think they're supposed to be lotus flowers, but they are the same colors that we just drilled today. So we'll figure out what the best drill with me will be. She does have this like really pretty blue purple sky up above, so we'll see. But yeah, 2 weeks, we got to get this done, and then I'm going to do the night sky as my next drill with me. Again, I'll link it to the Amazon page down below. I don't think it was expensive. Maybe I did buy it last year, so maybe $11, $12, 11 or 12. I don't remember. So last for this drill with me, I need to find this symbol, and that is one that I have in a Tupperware. Is this it? Yes. So that little sun rising symbol is going to be DMC3823. Only put a few in here. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna get to try out my new craft drill holders when I get to the United States. Looking forward to that because all my little plastic drill holders now will be boxed up. So I'm gonna need that so I can kit up my next thing. Do you guys call it kit up? Because I just call it organizing drills. I don't know. Everyone's got their own preference of what they prefer. And there we go. The lamp is done. Let me put these drills back in this Tupperware and I'll zoom out and show you. Yay. I think you can see the plastic at the bottom. Oh, it's not zoomed in. I just have the camera that close. Okay, I'm gonna take it off the stand. There'll be a little bit of sound. There we go. Look at that. It's so shiny. I don't even have a whole lot of it done, but those drills are shiny. The black drills are actually pretty nice on this. They're not dull. So there is the magic lamp. Here's the pink background I told you about that I'm probably gonna wanna do maybe tonight or tomorrow. And as for the drill with me is like maybe this background house city, because there's a lot of reds and oranges, but the lotus flowers are really pretty. Those are the same colors that we just did. And maybe try and do the stars, but then I'll be moving my camera all over the place. I mean, we'll figure something out. Or you know what, maybe I just do a drill with me of a section. I can do that too. But thanks for watching the magic lamp, guys. I'm gonna get going, do some errands around here. I'll get back to drilling later tonight, and I'll get back to the next drill with me in the next day or two. So I'll talk to you later. Bye, crafters.